Hey there, I'm Lance and I'm a gamer.
And I'm Sam and I'm a non-gamer.
And we are Love to Hate, where we help gamers find great games to play with non-gamers.
And today we're taking a look at New Kingdom Sowers by New Kingdom Games.
New Kingdom Sowers is a 1 or 2 player game that is coming to crowdfunding here in the very near future. And we were given a prototype copy here from New Kingdom Gaming for purposes of this playthrough video, so we do want to thank them for sponsoring this video. This is a game that takes after the parable of the 4 soils found in the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And with this game, either you can play against the game itself or you can play against another person. And what you'll be doing in this one, it's an abstract card game in which you are trying to play 10 black seed cards numbered 1 through 10 in that specific order down here to the bottom part of the board. And if you're the first player to be able to do that, then you win the game. In this video, we're going to be doing a 2-player playthrough to show you how this game works. And we'll also have a preview video, which is actually already out, and you can click that I in the top right corner to check out that video. But we will also have a how to play video if you want a full rules breakdown for how this game works. All right, so let's go ahead and take an overhead view, and we'll give you the brief overview of how this game works, and then we'll jump right into it. This is a 15-minute game, so this is a real quick real fast game with this one. So in this game, you are going to have a hand of cards. We'll go ahead and draw 4 off the top of our decks as you start with 4. And what make up our decks are 10 cards that are yellow seed cards numbered 1 through 10. And 10 black seed cards that are numbered 1 through 10. And those are all shuffled in randomly together. So we are going to have a mixture of black and yellow numbers 1 through 10. And on your turn, you start every turn by drawing a new card, and then you play a card. And depending on what color and number you play determines where you can play it. So yellow cards can only be played up here on the path or the rocky soil, and black cards can only be played here on the thorny soil or the good soil. And again, the good soil is ultimately where you're trying to get those black cards to. If you play on the path, you're simply discarding that card out of the game. Anything that comes up here to the path is not going to be coming back into the game. And it doesn't matter what number you play up here. You can play any yellow card up here. What you then do is you get to draw 1 card off the top of your deck, and optionally, you can draw the top card off of the rocky soil here, or you can take a card that you've already previously placed in the thorny soil. We'll come back to why you might want to do that. So that's the path. The second spot is the rocky soil, and again, that's got to be a yellow card, and you've got to play a number that's lower than whatever number is on top of this pile, and we share this pile together. So we'll both be putting cards into the rocky soil, and when you do that, you then get to take a second action. You get to play somewhere else. You get to draw 2 cards from your deck, and then you get to take a second action. And that second action has to be on one of the other 3 spots. So that gets you 2 actions in 1 turn. Now, if there are 4 more cards here in the rocky soil at any time, we do go ahead and take out all those cards and put them up here in the path. And again, that means they're out of the game. The third place you can play is the thorny soil, and it's got to be a black card when you play into the thorny soil. Sam's going to have her thorny soil pile here. I'll have mine on this side. It can be any black number, and when you put a card there, it's just basically set in reserve there for you that you can then get back on a path action later on into your hand. But what you also get when you take the thorny soil action is you get to draw 3 cards off the top of your deck, and then you take 4 cards, any 4 cards from your hand, put them in any order you want, either on top of your deck or on the bottom of your deck. So that's a real good way to get rid of some bad cards out of your hand that you really don't need, or to set yourself up getting good cards on the top of your deck. And then lastly, the good soil. You'll be playing whatever is the next black card that needs to be played. We start at 1, we go all the way from 1 to 10 in that specific order. And if you get your black 10 card there first, you win the game. So that's also kind of like the score tracker in the game. And so you'll be able to see who's ahead looking at the 2 different piles. Again, this is going to be Sam's. This one will be mine. All right. I think with that being said, that's pretty much the gist of the rules. There are a few key things along the way, such as if you don't have a viable option on your turn, you lose the game. If you don't have any cards to draw from your deck, you lose the game. And yeah, I think there are some other things too. We'll point them out if they come up.
How many am I allowed to have in my hand?
That's a good question. So if at the end of your turn you have if you have more than 7 cards, you have to discard yellow cards. You cannot discard black cards because obviously that would cause you to lose the game. So you have to discard down to 7, only yellow cards, and they go up here to the path. That's the last thing you do on your turn. So, and with that, we're ready to go. So I've got my cards here. I'm Aquila, playing with the Aquila deck, and Sam is going to be Priscilla, playing with the yellow Priscilla deck. So I start my turn by drawing the top card off of my deck, and now I go. So I am... I'm going to play a 9 right here to the rocky soil, and I will draw 2 cards from my deck, and now I have to take another action somewhere else on the board, and I'm going to play my black 1 to the good soil. While we're on the good soil, I do want to point out, so here's one of the other finer rules with this game, that if you do have a run of numbers, such as like 1, 2, 3, you can play all of them at the same time, just so long as you're not skipping over any numbers. All right, so Sam drew a card, and now she takes her turn.
So here I need to play higher.
Lower.
Lower.
Yeah, it's got to be lower. Can't be equal. It's got to be lower.
And the difference between playing it here versus playing it there is what?
So when you play here, you get to draw 2 cards out of your deck, okay, and then you take a second action somewhere else on the board, just like I did with the good soil. And if you play on the path, you play it face down. It's got to be a yellow card, but you play it face down, and then you draw a card from your deck, and then you can take the top card out of the rocky soil or a card in your thorny soil.
So I'm going to play that.
You can, yep.
And then I draw 2.
You draw 2, and you take a second action.
But it can't be there.
You can't do it there, right.
Do I have to take a second action?
You do, yes. Because you got to do the action in full. That's another rule. So if you take an action, you got to do the action in full. Otherwise, you can't do the action.
Okay, so I can put 1 there?
Yep. And now you have to draw 1 off of your deck.
Off my deck.
Yep. And then optionally, you could take the 8 that you just played, if you want to.
Yes, actually.
Now, do you have more than 7 cards?
I have exactly 7.
All right, you're good to go. I am going to play a black 9 to the thorny soil, which lets me draw 3 cards from my deck, and now I've got to take 4 cards and put them in any order I want, either on top of my deck or on the bottom of my deck. And I'm going to do it like that. Your turn.
I'm just going to keep playing that 8.
Just repeat over and over. So she draws 2, and now she has to take a second action.
So if I put 1 down there, what do I get to do?
You draw 3 off the top of your deck, and then you got to put 4, any 4 from your hand, in any order you want, either on top of your deck or on the bottom of your deck.
Okay, so I'm going to do that.
Okay.
So I take the top 3.
Take top 3, yep. And then any 4 from your hand, so even the ones that you've got face down there.
And put them
in any order you want, either on top or on the bottom.
Okay, so 4 of these on top of. I have played this game before, but this is how well I remember a game.
You like completely flush a game out of your head after.
I'm like, never heard of it. Never even seen it. Okay. In whatever order I want.
Yeah, the thorny soil on the surface seems like a really good action.
Yeah.
But then it's the trying to decide what cards to get out of your hand.
Okay.
Can be really
put
difficult.
Those 4 on the top. Okay.
All right, so you're good.
Yeah.
All right. I draw my card and I am going to play 2 to the good soil. I've got my 2 and 3, so the score is 3-0 right now. Your turn.
So I draw 1. Mm-hmm. And now I'm regretting the order I put them in. It's so hard to think about what you need to do.
Yeah, it is. I find that the thorny soil to
like
be
now I know what the next 4 are, and I hit all of them. I should put them on the bottom. Gosh. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna play that there.
Okay.
So I was gonna take 2.
Yep. And you take a second action.
I'm gonna play this here,
which lets you draw a card. And then you can either take that 6 you just played, or you can take back your 10. Or you don't have to do either. Okay? Do you have more than 7?
Yes.
So you got to discard your yellow cards face down till you have 7.
Okay.
Okay, mine go. I draw a card. And how many do we have here? We've got 3. Okay. I will go ahead and play a 2, which we have 4 in here now. So we go ahead and discard all of them to the path. And I get to draw 2 cards. And now I have to take a different action. And I'm going to play a 4 to the soil, the good soil.
Okay, all my blacks are just...
Are they at the bottom, like in reverse order?
All of them. Not actually shoveled at all. Okay.
All right,
so
you go. Not good, huh?
No, real not. Okay, so I feel like this is going to be the video that nobody's going to ask. So, why am a non-gamer? Like, no, we see it.
No, honestly, with this game, what I have found, and we said this in our preview video, that you cannot get too cocky with this game. Like, you can't feel like...
I just have a hard time remembering...
Well, but here's what's going to happen. I'm going to get myself in a bind here in a minute and do something where I'm like, well, I have no legal move left. I lose. And I'll be like, I'm ahead. But then, because I play poorly, I get myself in a bad spot, and I end up losing the game.
Do that. So I draw 3.
You draw 3.
Okay, then I take 4. Let's be smarter this time. And it has to be 4 on top of 4 on the bottom. I can't do 2 and 2.
Correct, yeah.
Not like that. How many cards do
I was going to say, you're running out of cards. You got to get to work here.
I know.
You are going to drop like 5 on one turn, though. I know
It's
that's
just
coming.
Not... I guess I'm just gonna...
You're sure that's what you want to do?
No. Hold up. I think I did it backwards. No?
You good?
I don't know. I'm afraid
right.
I'm going to get to the point where I'm not going to be able to do anything.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I can't get too cocky here because I'll make a mistake. All right, I am playing Oh, see, here it is. It's always the thorny soil, I feel like. When I make the thorny soil action, that's where I get into trouble. I'm going to go ahead and do it. All right, so I draw 3.
And then it's getting it out of there. That was my problem last time, is I had cards there and I couldn't get them out.
All right, so now I got to put back 4, and I'm putting them on the bottom of my deck. Your go.
I'm gonna lose.
You got to get at least one out here.
So I can put... that can be...
If you have a consecutive run.
Okay.
It's got to be consecutive, though.
There you go.
7. You had 1 through 7 in your hand. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess you got to play it, right?
So now I don't have anything in my hand.
No, you're at the mercy of whatever you draw. You better hope that it's not your black 9, for instance, because if it's your black 9, you have to play it there, which means you lose.
Okay.
So, all right, my go. I'm just gonna play it safe. All right.
My turn?
Moment of truth.
Okay.
You gotta play with whatever you got.
So play it there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I can draw 2.
You draw 2, yes. And you have to play again.
Okay.
But you can't play there.
Okay.
Oh no. All right. See, this game is swingy in a good way. Like you can definitely come back.
Okay, how do you get this card?
You play a card here.
Okay.
And then that lets you draw a card from your deck, but then optionally you can also draw either the top card here or any card from there.
Okay.
So that's how you get these cards back.
So that's that. Okay.
All right, so I am going to play a 3 there. Got to do it now. So I draw 2. And I gotta come at you. I'm playing 6 and 7. There, so the score is 7-8. Okay. And you just need 1 card here, and you can win the game. All right, so you draw 1 off your deck, and then you draw either that one or that one. Oh, I don't like that. All right, my go. I gotta think about this. You're gonna end it right here. All right, it's your go. You gotta draw a card. You have it, don't you? Darn it!
I win.
Darn it, man. See?
If we played, we were not allowed to ask questions.
I told you, I cannot get too cocky with this game. The moment I start thinking like, I got this. Nope, I don't. And that's how this game goes. I had my 8 and 9.
I started
in
the
my
game
hand,
off
and
with,
there's my 10.
I started the game off with 3, 4, 5, 6 in my hand.
Did you?
And then drew 2 pretty early. And when I laid them down, I was just waiting. I already had the 10 there, and I already knew the 8 and the 9 were down here in the last 4. I was only waiting for 1, and then I laid down 1 through 7 and knew 8, 9, and 10.
You played 1 through 7 there.
Yeah.
I did have 1 through 6 in my hand, but I slow played it because I wanted to make sure to not deplete my hand to give myself options in case I had bad cards fill out the rest of my hand. Looking back on it, maybe I should have just jumped all the way out there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a really good way of a good snapshot of how this game works and just how fun this is, because like you saw, that this game swings fast, really fast, and one person can be way in the lead, and then all you know, like the next second, it's boom.
Yeah.
But no, it's a lot of fun. I really do like this one. There you go, guys. That is a good picture of New Kingdom Sowers. a 1 or 2 player game. It's from New Kingdom Gaming. It's coming to crowdfunding here in the very near future, so go ahead and check out that campaign link down below in the description of this video so that you can check out all the details on this wonderful game. And while you're down there, go ahead and leave us some comments. Let us know what you think about this one.
Make sure to like and subscribe and push that bell button so you get notifications of all our new content.
I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.